Hey guys, how's it going? It's Space Cowboy. Welcome back to the Space Cowboy Show. And today we have to talk about another key thing regarding the Cowboys 2019 season. That being, which NFC East team poses the biggest threat to the Dallas Cowboys? Now, I know everyone's going to go down in the comment section and be like, Space Cowboy, you can't be serious. Like, it's going to be the Eagles. Yeah, I understand that. But we have to go through every single team and understand, okay, what are we dealing with each team, and why some teams we can overlook and some teams we can't. So let's go in the order in which I believe, and no, I don't give a crap if you're a fan of any of these teams and you get disrespected. So shut up. Starting off, New York Giants. Obviously, people will say, well, why aren't you putting Washington last if they don't have a quarterback established yet? Understandable question, but here's the thing. The Giants traded Odell Beckham. Sure, they got a new quarterback. Sure, they have, some talent. I'm not doubting their talent. My thing is if, and going under the constant, from what I've seen from Eli Manning, if he continues to not play well, the Giants are always going to ride at this point in time how well their quarterback play is. Right now, I can tell you without a doubt, Eli Manning is the worst quarterback right now in the entire NFC East, okay? And look, he's had a great career when you look at his accolades and stuff, but listen, man, he just hasn't been the same. He's fried. He's done. Listen, if he plays well, the Giants do have a shot at doing something this year. I'm not going to sit here and say that they can't do crap, but you got Saquon Barkley. You got Sterling Shepard. Their offensive line really isn't there yet. It still has holes around it, okay? Defense is meh. Solid in some parts, but not really, on the D-line. They added Dexter Lawrence. They still have some players there. But I'm sorry, man. The Giants are in a full rebuild mode, and right now they are not looking to make that step. If they're looking to, and Eli Manning plays well, maybe they can get to 8-8, 9-7, but that's the best I could see them going. Next, Washington Redskins. They're on the near same level as the Giants. They're literally flip-flop between fourth and third. Here's why. The problem with the Washington Redskins is they had consistent QB play from Alex Smith. He was doing what he needed to do, and they were playing a very efficient football, the Redskins were last season. They were on pace to win the NFC East, but injuries derailed everything. And if you know football, things like that happen. And because of the severity of Alex Smith's injury, they had to go get Case Keenum from the Broncos. And Case Keenum is average at best, okay? They're getting back Darius Guice, okay? They do have Adrian Peterson, who had a great year for his age and what he went through over the past couple seasons. But that's not going to be enough, man. You do not have enough firepower to contend with the other top dogs in the NFC East, which we know who they are. Yes, you can land some upsets, and I'm not saying you're going 3-13, and I know you did get Dwayne Haskins, okay? But from what I've heard, Dwayne Haskins is not starting, okay? And if he does, I don't know how he's going to perform. I will tell you this, though. Washington they have a better opportunity to be better than New York. If everything goes right for Washington, I could see them getting 8 wins, 9 wins, assuming everything goes their way. But when I look at their team, it just screams mediocrity. 7-9, 8-8, 9-7. But they do have a decent, good offensive line. They added some pieces here and there. But I just don't think they're there yet. Okay? And going back to New York, what's my window projection for them? Between 4-12 and 7-9. Maybe 8-8. Washington between 6-10 to 9-7. I think that's fair. And hey, stuff might happen where that changes, so don't hold me to that. But that's where I look at those two teams. Next, we get to the biggest threat in the NFC East. Easily the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are a talented team, okay? The Eagles and Cowboys will be going at it for probably, in terms of like all the teams being involved, it's going to be between Dallas and Philly for probably the next 2-3 years, okay? Main reason for that, Philly has a talented roster that's ready to contend right now, okay? Let's not kid ourselves. Philadelphia can beat Dallas. They have the ability to do it. Will they? We'll find out. I just think that we can't just let Philly slide, you know what I mean? We got to understand that Philadelphia is a competitive team, and they will bring it every single time. Now, I will say this. Do I think that the Cowboys are a more talented team than the Eagles? Yes, I do. But just because I say that doesn't mean that I've seen the Cowboys do some stupid stuff. And I'm not trying to sit here and sound like an Eagles apologist. Hell no. What I'm trying to be here is as objective as possible. And let's be realistic, guys. The Eagles are a decent team. Good team. But just because I say that, I've seen times where, hey, they've been looking good and then they fall apart. Last year was a prime example of that. There were games where they were up, more notably Tennessee and the Carolina game especially. They were up and they blew those leads. Or they were competitive in games and they just didn't take advantage of the situation when they needed to be. Or they just played horrible. So they were very inconsistent last season. But I will say this. I have Philadelphia making the playoffs as a wild card team between the range. Their range is between 7-9 and 11-5, okay? I'm not going to sit here and be like, I got to be objective here, I can't sit here and give you guys like, BS information, okay? Or a BS viewpoint. But now this is the point I want to get at. The Eagles will do as well as has healthy Carson Wentz is. If Carson Wentz is up all 16 games, he will do fine. Like, they will do fine because he's good. As much as it hates me to say it, he's good. But as of the past 2 seasons, he has yet to prove that he can stay upright for a full season other than his rookie season. I understand there might be Eagles saying, well, how can you say that? He said or that. Listen, I understand that. I've gone on record and said that Carson Wentz is a more talented quarterback than Dak Prescott. Just because I say that doesn't mean that he is a better quarterback. It just means that he has the ability to be better. So far, Dak Prescott has a better resume in terms of being consistent, in terms of accolades. You can't, just because he had, you can tell me, a MVP caliber season and should have won MVP, and I would agree with you, he should have, but he didn't, unfortunately. That doesn't excuse the fact that, other than that, he's been unreliable over the past 2 seasons, I should say, and we've yet to see him what he looks like in the playoffs. That's not a bad judgment to make, okay? They are a dangerous team, especially, if they can get things right. Now, the question is, what will happen? I think it's going to be a close race. I still have Dallas winning the NFC East again, but I think both these teams will make the playoffs, regardless of who wins what. And with that being said, the Cowboys and the Eagles are the 2 top dogs in the NFC East, okay, for right now. And Dallas, right now, in my opinion, is the best team in the NFC East. They've been the most consistent. And at this point, now you're going to hear from me, why do I think Dallas is the best team in the NFC East? Okay. First of all, do they have the best quarterback? They have the most reliable quarterback. If we're talking talent here, we can be here talking about how Carson Wentz is more talented. Right now, Dak Prescott has been the most consistent out of all the other quarterbacks. Over the past 3 years, I should say. Running back, Ezekiel Elliott, as of right now, is the best running back in the NFC East. You can give me Saquon Barkley all you want, but let me be clear. Saquon Barkley has only had 1 season under his belt. If he does it over the next 3 seasons, we'll have a different conversation, and we'll see how stats go. Wide receiving core, Dallas. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, they have great talent across the board. Even if they did lose Cole Beasley, you can sit here and say, well, the Eagles got the best wide receiver. Well, I beg to differ. I think that the Cowboys have a more reliable wide receiving core. I think, yeah, you can throw out Philadelphia, but I feel like Dallas has a better receiving core, knowing they have a younger core. They've been proven to be better. And they just, that's just that. Philadelphia's a close second, but still. Offensive line, Dallas. Okay, Dallas has the best offensive line. They have 3 All-Pros on their line. I will say that, in 2017 the Eagles' offensive line was better. Yeah, you could say that, and they were more reliable. But as of right now, Dallas's offensive line has more depth behind it, and it has a stronger starting cast than the other offensive lines. Philly's close. Well, I would argue Washington's the second best, but it's kind of close between them and Philly. Tight end, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz is a great tight end, and I think at this point that's just that. What else on offense? I think I covered everything on offense, unless you include fullback. Defensive line. You know what? I would say Dallas based off of potential, but I'm gonna say Philly for now. I think Philly still has the best defensive line in the NFC East, but we'll see what happens. Okay, because they do have great talent there. Linebacking core, without a doubt, the Dallas Cowboys. They probably have the best dynamic duo with Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch at linebacker, and you got Sean Lee in the mix. Cornerbacks, or more or less the secondary. I would give it to the Cowboys because, based off of what we've seen with what they got. Obviously, you can make an argument for Philadelphia. The thing was with Philadelphia, they were injured, and some of the players weren't playing up to par. And I know, and if you want to include kicker / special teams, we'll throw. I would say the Eagles. And I know, after this segment that I just did right now, I know there's going to be an Eagles fan, there's going to be a Giants fan, a Redskins fan, trying to say that I'm way too biased. My question is, if you think that I'm wrong, feel free to put a comment saying why I'm wrong. You might say that I'm stupid. You might say that I don't know what I'm talking about. But maybe just substantiate your argument. If you think that the Cowboys wide receiving core isn't as good as the Eagles or the Giants, give me a reason. Give me a good reason. If it's good enough to change my mind, I'll consider it. I'm not an unfair Cowboys fan. I'm objective, but at the same time, don't give me that crap saying like, oh, yeah, they're just better because they got this guy. It's like that's not substantiation right there. That's just saying stuff. Like, and you might say, well, you just did that before. The main reasoning for that is because I can go on like a 10-minute explanation, 5-minute explanation, and I'm not here to do that. I'm just giving you brief summarizations. If you want to, well, why do you say Dallas has the most consistent or best quarterback? Here's why. He's been there for every single game that he's played. He's been there for all 16 games for the past 3 seasons, okay? He's put up a more consistent stat line. He hasn't been up and down, and because of that, he's led his team to 2 division titles, okay? That's another consistent thing. And he hasn't had a losing record over the past 3 years compared to the other quarterbacks. That's that. Like, I mean, and you can say potential this, potential that, but at the end of the day, and I even admitted, yeah, the Cowboys by potential have a better D-line, but just because I say that doesn't mean it's true. Just because Carson Wentz has more potential to be a better quarterback doesn't mean he is. But that's just that. I don't want to go on for too long. Guys, if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. In the comment section, tell me who do you think's the better team? The Cowboys, Eagles, Washington, New York. Who do you think poses the biggest threat, I should say, and out of those teams, and who do you think the best? But yeah, man, if you guys have enjoyed, I will see you guys later. Peace out. Bye-bye.